One of the concepts that actually validates our humanity is the fact that we are liable to make mistakes. None of us is exempted from that possibility that we can actually make errors. My name is Lauli Bitoye, and today on Queen 516, we'll be talking about mistakes. A couple of days ago, I actually stumbled on an image on a friend's social media status, and the picture described a young man and a young lady who were betrothed to each other, and in the process of their relationship, the girl actually had an affair with someone else, and she got pregnant. And despite the turbulences, or whatever may have transpired in between, no one knows, but the young man still decides to stay in the relationship as they were planning their wedding coming forth, and also opted to adopt the child even after she gives birth, knowing fully well that the child is not his. Now, my friend's comment on the picture was that he's a fool, and which, of course, by popular opinion and perception, that's it. And of course, describing that story, I'm sure you've already formed your own opinion, you've picked your own side already, which is true in itself, which is not faulted at all. Okay, but I'm coming from a different school of thought here, and it's not supreme, it's not any better than yours, it's just different. And here's what I'm trying to share. The young guy and the young lady have been in a relationship. I don't know the circumstances or the situation in between, but the fact is they were planning to get married. Now, no one knows what caused the affair or why or how she got pregnant, if it was a product of rape or it was consensuous. Whichever the case might be, let's even assume it was consensuous, she wasn't raped, okay? Now, the angle of the guy is where we're coming from. About if you as a guy were in this shoe, what would you do? Would you go ahead with the marriage plans? Would you be willing to take this, your betrothed, alright, and still go ahead with the wedding? Would you be willing to nurture someone else's child? Now, this young man is quite brave, in my opinion, and here's why. Consider how much these two people have invested in themselves. You're in a relationship and you've both invested in yourself. You believe in yourselves. You've supported each other. You've been through thick and thin together. You've envisioned a future together. No duress, no pressure anywhere. You're both looking forward to it. And then one of you makes a mistake. Now, I understand that it's a betrayal of trust. Okay, I understand that it's not going to be easy to feel the same way anymore. But it's still possible. It's still possible to hold the hands of this person and accept them. We all know that we are not our mistakes. And like I said earlier on, we are humans and we are liable to make errors. We can all fall. We can all make that almost impossible thing happen. And the first mistake any of us would make is to think or to say, it can never happen to me. Yes, of course, while you're in your conscious mind, it won't. But somehow, some way, things happen. And it just might. Of course, we would take care to ensure it doesn't. But when it does, Have you ever made a mistake and you're asking someone else for forgiveness, and you're asking for a second chance, or you're asking the person, your friend, your fiance, your parent, your teacher, to trust you, to believe you, to give you a second chance? Have you desperately pleaded that you're given another opportunity to try again because you didn't deliberately do it? So also that must have been how it would have been for this couple. The lady would have probably genuinely wanted a second chance. But like I said, we're considering the guy's decision. And here's my take on it. The guy valued their relationship much more than a mistake. I know you have your reservations, but this is my opinion. Secondly, the guy understood that she is not a mistake. She is still the same lady he fell in love with all those years. She is still the same lady he has invested himself in all the while. He just made a mistake. A mistake that the consequence is going to be a baby, and their lives are going to change forever. But he still valued her. He still saw the fact that that future they've planned, that future they're seeing together can still happen. And he chose to stay by her side. If he decided not to, no one would have faulted him. But he still chose to. So the moral of the story for me is that don't define people by the mistakes they have made. Be willing to give someone a second chance. This is not to say that there will not be times when you need to cut ties. There will not be times when you need to ensure you walk far away and never have an appearance of the same thing coming to you again. But there are also times when we need to give a second chance. Empathize with the person. Consider yourself, if you were the person in their shoes, would you be desperate for a second chance? Would you be desperate to do anything in hope for a second chance? If you will, then probably that person also deserves a second chance. My name is Lauli Bitoye, and all I'm trying to say is, we are all better than our mistakes. Have a wonderful time.